Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we're going to show you how to change out the GE refrigerator ice door spring. It's going to be a very easy repair and it should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new ice door spring. The ice door spring puts tension on the ice door. The main reason to be changing it out is if it's damaged and the ice door isn't closing properly. In order to get to the part, you have to take the dispenser apart. First thing we're going to do is take off the actuator pad and the support behind it. To pull the actuator pad off, all you have to do is get underneath it and pull it out of the frame. If the frame comes off with it, you can just pull it off in one piece. Otherwise, you have to pull it out by itself. There's a leg in each corner. All you have to do is get behind it and unsnap them and pull it out. If one of the legs is broken like ours, you can carefully get behind it with a small screwdriver and pop it out. Next, we can take off the decorative panel. It's held in by a few snaps across the front. We're just going to get behind it with a putty knife and flex it so it'll release. Once you have it off, you can set it aside, and we can use the Phillips screwdriver to take the screws out. Once you have all 4 screws out, we can carefully grab the dispenser assembly and slide it straight out. Once you have it out, we're going to release this wire harness so we can take this off and set it aside. All you have to do is reach in and carefully pull it off the board. Once you have it disconnected, you can set the assembly aside. Next, we're going to take the solenoid out. It's held in by 3 screws. We're not going to take the wires off or anything because we're just going to leave it hang out of the way so we can take the ice door arm off. This upper one has a slot in it, so you can hold the solenoid and just loosen it up. Once you have it loose, you can just let it sit down. Then we can lift up the door and take the plunger off and put it back in the solenoid. Now that we have the solenoid out of the way, we can use a Phillips screwdriver to take out the screw that holds the bracket in place, that holds the arm on. Once you have it off, you can hold the arm up so we can take the other end out of its resting spot and take the ice door spring off the arm. Once you have it out, all you have to do is lift it up to unhook it from the arm, and then you can pull it off and set the arm assembly aside. Here's the old ice door spring next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. To put the new ice door spring on, we're going to carefully put it onto the leg it mounts on. Then we can rotate it down so the hook goes into the hole. Then we're going to compress the spring down so there's some tension on it. Then we're going to lift it up and put it into its right-hand mounting spot. Then you can let the spring go and then close the door and hold it in place so we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screw in the bracket back in place. Now that we have the ice door arm mounted, we can put the solenoid back in. We have to hook the door into the end of the solenoid, so we're just going to kind of open up the door a little bit and lift it up into place and hook the arm onto the solenoid. Once you have the solenoid plunger hooked in, we can close the ice door and kind of lift the solenoid bracket up behind the screw. Once you have it in place, we can tighten it down with the Phillips screwdriver. As you're tightening the upper screw down, you want to make sure that the lower holes are lined up so we can put those screws in. To put the dispenser back together, we're going to put this assembly back in first. We have to reconnect the wire harness right here to the control board. So we're going to have to carefully get it lined up and push it on. If you can't get it pushed down all the way, you can grab a small screwdriver and make sure you push it all the way down so you get a good connection. And then we can lift the assembly into place and push it into the opening. As you're pushing the assembly in, you want to make sure that you come down below where the arm is, and you want to make sure that the water line comes out where it's supposed to so you don't damage it. Once you have it lined up, you can push it all the way in. And we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in. Now that we have the screws in, we can put the decorative panel back on. All you have to do is line it up and carefully snap it on. Once you have it in place, we can go down below and put the actuator pad and support on. To put the actuator pad support in, we have to line it up with the 4 mounting holes, and you want to make sure that the little cutout is at 12 o'clock. And you may have to reach in with a small screwdriver and lift the ice deflector out of the way. As you're putting it in, you want to make sure that it doesn't go behind the frame. Once you have the ice deflector out of the way, you can snap it into place, and then we can put the actuator pad on. You want to make sure that the flat is on the top, and then we're just going to work it in around this lip right here. If you have to, you can use a small screwdriver to push the lip underneath. Once you have it in place, you should be able to press on the actuator pad and hear the switch activate. Once you have everything back together, you can plug the refrigerator back in and make sure it starts to cool. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.